This short video tutorial is on how to install and configure Better WP Security. Now, the first thing we're going to do is, if you picked up one of my clones, Better WP Security is already included in the clones. If you're going to install it on a WordPress site that doesn't have it, it's simply just go to Plugins, Add New, and then do a search on Better WP Security, and it will take you out to WordPress, and essentially you can install it from the list of plugins listed here. Of course, it's called Better WP Security, and it is installed on my site already. Now, to configure it, you simply come over here to the left-hand side, and you can see security right here. We're going to click on security. That's going to take us over to WP Security. So now we're going to configure it. Now, I'm configuring this the way that I configure all of my WordPress sites. So if you deviate from this, then that's strictly up to you. So you can make your site more secure, less secure, however you like to set it up. Now, I do not create a database backup because all of my sites have Backup Buddy, and I use Backup Buddy to back up all my sites. So I don't use a backup through Better WP Security. So I click right down here. No thanks. I already have a backup. And then I click this button right here that's Secure My Site from Basic Attacks. So we're going to do that. It will take us over to the dashboard where we can configure a little bit more. So we're going to click here to fix. As you can see in the first area up there, we need to tweak some settings. So I go down and I check all of these boxes in the first setting here, which is server tweaks. Header tweaks, I check everything. Dashboard tweaks, everything is checked by default. Strong password tweaks, I check it. It's already checked here by default. And then I choose subscriber. So I want the strong password role from subscriber on up. Okay, so this is going to require them. Anyone that logs onto your site, I only create membership sites, and any member that tries to create a less than secure password will not be able to do it when we check this box. Okay, now for other tweaks, I check all of these boxes except for remove write permissions from htaccess and wp-config. And the reason I do this is because the permissions get changed on both of these sites. And when the permissions get changed, when I create a backup using Backup Buddy, the site does not install correctly. Now I can go in and change the change the permissions back when I'm installing it, but I'd rather not do that. This is not a big deal. I've never had a site broken into. I've never had a site compromised. I've installed well over 1,000, probably over 1,500 sites by now, WordPress sites, and not had any problems with any of them. But you can choose to check this if you'd like. If you're not using Backup Buddy, then this is a good thing to check. And then I just check the rest of these boxes right here. When we get down to the bottom, we simply want to click on Save Changes. Okay, now for dashboard, we're gonna have a couple of things in here that's click here to fix, which is the WordPress admin areas available 24/7. I don't mess with these, but if you want to make sure that your admin site is unavailable during the times that you're not around, you can certainly configure that. Now I check here for known bad hosts, so I check that for bad hosts. So I add the host and agent blacklist, and I also click on here enable banned users. So what this does is, if you get an IP address from one of these that's on this list, hack repair, then it will place it in this banned host, and so they won't be able to get access to your site. That's as simple as that. Okay, back over here, you see that we're still a little orange here, but nothing else is red. Okay, so the htaccess file is writable, which we talked about earlier, and the wp-config file is writable. So if you wanted to lock these down, then you can simply do that by going back to the tweak right over here, which is the tweak button, and you can go ahead and go through these tweaks and change this just by checking this box here, remove write permissions, and that will basically clear up those two red areas. Again, if you're using Backup Buddy, if you create a backup using Backup Buddy and that box is checked, it will mess up your permissions and it will not install the site correctly. Okay, so you just want to make sure of that. Now the rest of these, the only thing I do, and this is very important, when you log into your site, your WordPress site, as you know, you'll be able to get access to your site using WP Admin. So we click on WP Admin, and we can essentially get access to the dashboard and also WP Login. Now, these are two vulnerabilities that hackers can use to gain access to your site, especially WP Login. And what happens is they'll run a bot off of the botnet, and they'll hammer the username and the password to try to figure out. So this is basically a brute force attack on your site to try to figure out what your login is. One great way to solve this issue is right here with the hide function. So click on the hide tab, and then all we do is simply click here, enable hide back in, which now instead of the regular login, you're going to use login, register, and admin. Okay, it's very important that you remember these, because if you don't, you're not going to be able to get into your site. And we want to save changes. Now, when we try to gain access using the WP login and the WP admin, we will not be able to, because everything now is configured and it's hidden. Remember, enable hide back in. So I'm going to fire another browser here. I'm going to use Chrome. We're going to try to get access to the site using the configuration that most people use. Okay, so let's fire up Chrome here, and we have the site. Now let's go ahead and click on WP login, or just type this in, PHP. And as you can see, it's not found. So this saves you a whole lot of problems with the botnets and all these automated bots that try to gain access to your WordPress site. It simply hides access. Same thing with WP admin. WP admin is where all of your administrative function is found for WordPress. If that directory is compromised in any way, hackers get access, your site is essentially compromised, and you're just going to have to take it offline and try to fix it. Okay, so as you can see, we can't get access to either one of those. Now, if we go ahead and click on admin, or just type in admin here, you can see that now we can log into the site. Okay, we can get access to the site. And that's basically what it does. Now, you can change any of these. So you can change, whatever the login slug is, admin slug, register slug. You can change these because it's just simply a configuration. Remember, when you change them, though, to write it down, because if you forget, or you don't have RoboForm, or you're not saving your passwords in your browser, when you go back in to try to get access to the site, you won't be able to gain access using WP Login or WP Admin. Now this has essentially, just this little configuration right here has saved me just tons and tons of grief from people trying to gain access to my site, because the bots only know to go after WP Login PHP, and they hammer that. Like I say, it's a brute force attack off the botnet, and there are tens of thousands of these machines, and all they do is try to work on WordPress sites all day long and gain access. And once they gain access, of course, then you basically lost the battle. The hacker has access to your site. Okay, so simple little configuration. Hopefully, that's all I do for better WP security. And for any other changes, or for anyone that's trying to log in, of course, you can just come over to logs and you can see exactly what's happening on your site as your customers, as your subscribers, or as just regular normal traffic shows up and tries to gain access to your WordPress site. Okay, so hopefully that clarifies how to install and configure WP, or better WP security. Thanks for watching.